Morning everyone. So this morning we have a short trip from Doncaster up to York along the East Coast Main Line. So today's traction is a Class 47 and behind it we have a row of 9 Mark 1s. So I'm going to do a little bit, I'm going to do things a little different on these videos to the other train sim videos. So the other train sim videos are absolutely fantastic and I watch all of them. But these videos which I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the towns where we depart and where we're actually going to, the destination towns. And then we'll also talk a little bit about the mode of traction which we're using in the day as well. So as I've said, we're currently sat at Doncaster, waiting to head north. In the background we have the old Brel Works, and for those of you who are probably around in the 70s and 80s, you would have probably gone to the works on open days. And it's certainly back in the 80s, it was a place where a lot of the Deltics were lined up waiting to be scrapped, and it was also the place that the Class 58s were made as well, you know, for the coal traffic around the country, Nottinghamshire, Yorkshire, and up towards Durham as well. So they were heavily used around this area. So one thing which I'll apologise is for the quality of the sound and also the quality of the graphics. So the sound, my old microphone has died, so I'm going to have a new microphone on order, so hopefully that will arrive tomorrow. For the graphics, I'm actually using quite an old PC, but what I thought I would do is, for those people who really can justify the investment of a computer which has got the old singing or dancing graphics and sound cards, I thought I would just use the old PC to say, yeah, you do sacrifice a bit of quality and a bit of speed in terms of your processing and a little bit of screen lag, but you can still enjoy it as well. So look, take it for what it is. So we'll jump on board and we'll start heading north to York. So it looks like we have a magic train just coming past us on the right hand side. I've requested approval to pass the signal at danger, so let's go. I do like the sound of the 47. This particular one has got the Armstrong Powerhouse sound pack. Highly recommended. So we just crossed over the River Don, and coming towards us, you've got the Class 43 HST in the Intercity Swallow livery. Off to the right goes the line to Immingham Docks, Grimsby and the holiday town of Cleethorpes, and heading off to the left is the main line up to Wakefield, Leeds, and the further afield towns of Bradford, Skipton and Harrogate. Here's Class 89, 001, pulling a rank of Mark III coaches. The interesting thing with this is, on this particular scenario, we'll probably see it about 5 times. And for those of you who know your locomotives, you'll know that there was only ever one built. And the next time you see the 89, have a look at the pantograph. It's always down, so I'm not too sure how it's drawing any power, but it is. So this current locomotive, top speed of 95 miles an hour, and some of them, especially the freight locos, a lot of them had top speeds of 75. Probably really need to look at the contrast on here as well as the cab's a little bit dark, but it'll be okay. So the Class 47, so it was built by Brush Traction between 1962 and 1968, and they really were the standard locomotive. Total of 512 were built. And had a Coco configuration, so if you, I'm certainly no expert, but if you have a look at the bogies, the Cocos had like 3 axles, but in saying that, Class 40s was also a Coco and had 4 axles per bogie. I'm sure someone can give us a reason why. I don't know whether it's because there's traction motors on 3 of their axles. Class 40 and 4, I really don't know. This looks like it's a, could be another Class 89 maybe, oh no, it's a HST. So the Class 47, there's quite a few different varieties of them. The 47 Zeros, they had a steam generator, and often back in the day, if anyone was saying, oh, we've got a generator pulling the train, you always knew that it was a Class 47 Zero. The 47 3s had no train heating. So no steam generator, or it was just no train heating, because they were really designed for freight traffic. And 47 4s they had the electric trains. The brakes, the locos, the Class 47s, it was either a case of vacuum air or dual. So we're more or less getting to the northern border of South Yorkshire. So we're not too far away from North Yorkshire. Of the 512 locos made, 314, so 61% of the locomotives were allocated just over 6 depots. So originally, Crewe Diesel Depot had 80. Because there were two depots in Crewe. You had the electric depot and you had the diesel depot. Cardiff Canton had 53, Bescott had 51, Tinsley had 48, Bristol Bath Road had 41, and Immingham had 41 as well. So there's actually quite a lot of locomotives allocated just to 6 depots. And some of the members of the class now have actually been reclassified Class 57, so they've actually had a lot of work done to them. And there's also been quite a number now which is scrapped. The Class 47s were also commonly used on the Trans-Pennine express trains from Liverpool to Newcastle. So they often shared those duties with Class 45s, and as the 45s and the 46s started to be withdrawn from service, the 47s actually took over, and the 47s actually held the responsibilities of those services until the Class 158s, the EMU trains came into service. off to the right goes the branch off to Selby. For those of you who I guess are new to train sim, what I'd recommend is that certainly invest and get the locomotives and the routes that you want, but I definitely recommend getting some of the add-ons like the sound packs, because they really do make a difference, especially when the locomotive is you know, is at full power or it's just accelerating. You don't just get that constant locomotive sound as what you do from I guess some of the out of the pack purchases that you get. And I would say that's the branch off to Leeds. So we're now in North Yorkshire. So we've left South Yorkshire, now in North Yorkshire. The line coming in from the right is the line from Selby. So the southbound trains calling into Selby and then into Doncaster would go that way if there are stopping service. And then from Doncaster onto Sheffield. So what you can see here with the computer struggling, you know, with the graphics card, the shared graphics card, is where the locomotive number is. You can see it's quite grey, it doesn't stand out, and also the British Rail logo on the side of the locomotive is also quite blurry as well. So, you know, if you do have a computer which can handle this, the graphical demands of this game, then that's fantastic. That really is. It does make a huge difference. The other thing as well is because I'm recording this, it's also causing frame rate. To have a couple of issues. So it'll play okay, or it'll record okay for a few frames, and then it'll freeze a little bit, and then it'll go again. It looks a little bit jerky at times. So up to our left, probably a couple of miles away, would be the old RAF base of Church Fenton. So very important back in the Second World War, and also in the Cold War as well. There was a squadron of tornadoes which were stationed there. I'm not too sure if the base is still open now or whether it's not, but it was quite a busy place back in the day. And then on the other side of Church Fenton, you have the main line coming in from Leeds to York, and the East Coast main line that we're on, and the line from Leeds to York would converge at a place called Colton Junction. So we're now 8 miles from York, not long to go. So this is Colton Junction. If you the line to the left, just coming in now, is the line which I mentioned from Leeds. That's the main Trans-Pennine line from Liverpool, Manchester, Leeds, York, Newcastle. A little bit of rail traffic backing up. And this was probably the result of me not starting the scenario straight away. Starting to come to the outskirts of York now. Quite an old city, back in the day, known as Eberackham, under the the Romans who ruled the Jorvik under the Viking rule. So the road that we're just going under now is the A64. So it's the main road from Leeds to Scarborough, and this road that we're going under now is the road which actually goes into York city centre. Up to the right was the old main line to Selby and down into Doncaster. So if you saw any old pictures of Deltics in Selby, they would have gone down. Down the old line there. So on the right hand side now would have been the old Dringhouse's marshalling yard. So back in the 70s and the 80s and so on, there would have been a whole heap of freight traffic sat there. Class 47s knocking around, a rail freight one that we just passed, and another one here. So just coming under the famous Holgate Bridge, this big bridge to the right of the church here. And then York Station in front of us, and in the right hand side, just at the back, you can see the Minster, York Minster. So York, a junction for people wanting to go to the seaside town of Scarborough, and Bridlington and Filey, and also the place where Dick Turpin was hanged on the Knavesmire on the way into York on the A64. A little bit of an issue with the graphics here. As you can see, we've got a nice garden strip on the left hand side on the platform, but that's alright. Back in the day, I don't know if they still have them now, but back in the day the steps on this bridge just were going under there, always had advertising on them, advertising strips. So around to the left would be the continuation of the East Coast Main Line, and to the right would be the line up to Scarborough, Moulton, Seamer. On the left-hand side is the bay platform, platform 8, and that's the one usually used for the train which goes to Leeds via Harrogate and Knaresborough. Well, hey, look, I hope you enjoyed this quick trip from Doncaster up to York. As I've said, the computer which I'm using is challenged in terms of hardware. but you know, it's still good fun. You don't need to have a flashless computer going to enjoy you know, simulations. Okay, well, hey, until next time, have a good day.